Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are very excited for our video. We're going to be talking about things that we have learned in our marriage so far. We've been married for 3 years, so we are definitely not experts by any means, but we're each going to be sharing things that we have learned that have helped us along the way and to just have a better, more enjoyable marriage. We have not shared these things with each other yet. So it's going to be a surprise as to what things each of us have learned. The first thing that I have learned, I would say that is the biggest thing, is to pray for your spouse. And this is cliche in the Christian world, and maybe obvious, but it's so powerful to pray for someone when you are maybe upset with them, or you're just in a stage of life, maybe not between the two of you, but just a stage of life that's difficult or hard, but to just pray through that and to pray specifically. I found that it really helps me to pray for Eric every day. I pray that God would show me how to view Eric, how God views Eric. And so what is important, what qualities did God create Eric with that I am blessed to see? And that really changes your perspective and helps me to be really thankful, I guess.
My number one was don't get married, but here we are.
Screw me, I guess.
In no specific order, one of the things I have definitely learned in marriage is to know like what's important, what needs to be done, but ultimately like know what matters. And there's a lot of instances, a lot of things, a lot of times where I was doing like what needs to get done, what I thought was important, but it didn't ultimately matter. And so sometimes that caused a lot of friction. And so for me personally, it was just knowing the difference between those things. And ultimately, you got to work on what matters. So I can't do what I think is important at the expense of Bethany and at the expense of our relationship just to be productive and to get stuff done. I have to put her first in my life.
Yeah, you do. The second thing that's on my list is to prioritize time, kind of along the same lines, I guess, of what you were saying. Find what is most important, and there are times where other things are going to take away from time between us, but it shouldn't be a consistent thing. So obviously I'm not gonna stay home from work so that I can spend time with Eric, but if I notice that work is consistently getting in the way of spending time together, I need to step back, or spending time on things that I want to do personally, or chores, or spending time with other people, or things like that. Just prioritizing the time, making sure that we do make time together. And I think we've come a long way in that, of making sure that we have intentional time together every day, and definitely every week.
One thing I've definitely learned is to listen to her, and I mean, that's like such an obvious no-brainer. You learn it in first grade kind of thing, but also like just to hear her out and hear entirely how she's feeling about XYZ and her day, and which is kind of difficult for me in a sense because she's a teacher. So she tells me story after story after story after student after student, and I've never met any of them. I have no faces to them. So it's hard for me to like go along with what she's telling me, but I know it's important for her that I listen to her. So I try my best with that. And that's definitely one thing I've learned. Again, it's kind of like the obvious, oh yeah, listen. But at the same time, beyond just listening, is just being there for her and being engaged and just actively listening as she talks and rambles on and on and on.
He's
actually
like, listen even when you do not care whatsoever.
Yeah, or at least like make it look like you're listening on the outside.
Yeah. The third thing that I have learned is that not everything has to be a big deal. There are things that are going to annoy you, that are going to drive you crazy to different levels. There are definitely things that are bigger issues, whether it's between the two of you or just external factors that are affecting your day-to-day life. And definitely there are times where you need to sit down and have conversation after conversation for days on end. But most things don't require that level of attention or that level of energy. So if you're annoyed about something, just saying it and moving on and not letting it ruin the whole rest of the day, the whole rest of the night, into the next morning over something that's so just finite. But just not letting little things control you or make you feel so annoyed or whatever and ruin all the time that you do have together. Feel annoyed or feel frustrated or whatever, even communicate that, and then both of you just move on.
Lastly, something else that I've learned is to have things that you like to do as an individual, but then also as a couple have things that you do that's kind of special and unique to just the two of you that you do together. Me growing up, like I always saw my parents do like everything together. Truthfully, I think I've seen them do things as individuals pretty rarely. I definitely have, but not super common. It's definitely more common that they do everything together. So I always felt like we had to be together all the time. We had to be doing the same things together at the same time with one another. That's really not the case, especially like, you know, running was really your thing. And then I picked up cycling. That's become my thing, that we do totally solo, really. But we still support and encourage one another in those things. But of course, we have things that we do together as well. So just some things that I've learned. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you maybe gained some wisdom for you in your marriage, or if it's yet to begin, some things to maybe expect or work on now in your life, in your own relationship currently. If you have any other questions or things you want us to cover about marriage, individuals, expectations, things like that, let us know in the comments below. We'd be happy to make a video like that, answer any questions you might have. We want to be totally open with this, and we want to help other people kind of learn and grow in their own relationships and marriage and whatever else they end up in. So let us know in the comments below if you have any questions, any topics you'd like us to cover. You know, we want to do our due diligence in helping other people out in their marriage, whether they've been married for 3 months or 30 years, whatever. You know, we just want to help people out in the best way we can.
And also let us know things that you have learned that have helped you, because everyone's different. So I would love to read some of those too. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.